In Plato's Allegory of the Cave, the Greek philosopher describes a group of prisoners who have been held captive in a cave since birth. The prisoners are chained to the wall of the cave and can only see what is in front of them. Behind the prisoners is a fire, and between the fire and the prisoners is a raised walkway. Along this walkway, people carry objects or cast shadows on the wall of the cave. The captives can see these shadows but are unaware that they are not seeing reality. Eventually, one of the prisoners breaks free and realizes that what he thought was reality was only an illusion. This story is an allegory for the human condition, and it has been interpreted in many ways over the centuries. Some people see it as a story about knowledge and ignorance, while others interpret it as a story about how we perceive reality. No matter how you interpret the story, there is no denying that it is a complex and thought-provoking tale. There are several key elements in the story that are worth discussing in greater detail. First, there is the idea of imprisonment. The prisoners in the story are trapped in a cave, unable to move or see anything other than what is in front of them. This represents how many people feel trapped by their circumstances in life. They may feel like they cannot escape their problems or break out of their routines. In the story, the prisoner who breaks free eventually realizes that what he thought was reality was only an illusion. This is a common theme in Plato's work, and it is often used to illustrate the importance of philosophy. Philosophy is the study of wisdom, and it can help us see the world in a different way. Second, there is the idea of false reality. By understanding that reality is only an illusion, we can begin to understand our own lives better. The prisoners think that the shadows on the wall are all there is to life. They are unaware that there is a whole other world outside of the cave. This represents how many people only believe what they see with their own eyes. They may be blinded by their own biases or limited experiences. The prisoners are only allowed to see what is in front of them, such as the shadows on the wall. Finally, there is the idea of enlightenment. When one of the prisoners breaks free from his chains and sees the world outside for what it really is, he experiences a moment of enlightenment. This represents how some people find true meaning in life when they break out of their comfort zones and explore new ideas or experiences. By learning to perceive reality in a different way, they can begin to understand and appreciate the world around them more fully. This is a common theme in Plato's work. But there is a fundamental problem with the allegory of the cave, and it is that anyone can interpret it to fit their own needs. For some people, it is a story about knowledge and ignorance. The prisoners in the story are only able to see what is in front of them, which represents how many people only believe what they see with their own eyes. They may be blinded by their own biases or limited experiences. But eventually, one of the prisoners breaks free and realizes that what he thought was reality was only an illusion. But who defines what breaking free means exactly? Can breaking free simultaneously mean entrapment, for example? Someone may rebel against the conditioning of their early years, only to find themselves entrapped in a prison of their own making. In the process of breaking free, they manufactured a cage of their own. And what about those prisoners who never break free? Are they really the ones that we should feel bad for? Note that in the story, the person who leaves the cage is blinded by the sun. So, one could also argue that the one who stays in the cave is in a better position, as he is not blinded by the sun. Or, let's look at the entire story from a different perspective. The prisoners are kept in a cave, and they are all afraid of the outside world. They are unable to see what is outside of the cave, so they cannot escape. This is similar to the world in which we live. We are all trapped in a cave, unable to see the truth, and therefore, we are unable to escape the clutches of our own prejudices, no matter how hard we try.